Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the podcast where we take a whole stack of sources, all the research, the insights, and we really try to pull out the most important bits of knowledge for you.
Exactly. The goal is for you to walk away feeling genuinely informed, maybe learn some surprising things, and hopefully have a bit of fun along the way.
Yeah, keep you hooked. So pregnancy, it's often seen through those visible milestones, right? The first kick, the growing bump, all that anticipation. But underneath all that, especially in the early weeks, there's this equally profound, often totally unseen transformation happening.
Quietly unfolding.
And today, we're zeroing in on one of those really significant but often quite private moments, the 12th week of pregnancy. It's a time of just huge internal change.
Absolutely. For the baby, obviously, but also for you, the expecting parent.
You've really hit on something crucial there, that 12-week mark, the end of the first trimester.
Yeah.
For so many people, it brings this powerful mix, like relief, but also a new kind of awareness.
Definitely relief. It's a point where some major developmental hurdles are, well, they're past. And that unseen work that's been going on inside for both parent and baby, it really starts to solidify.
Feels like a real transition.
It is. It's a shift from, initial formation to more about accelerated growth. It sounds subtle, but it's a really important distinction, has lots of implications.
And that's exactly what we want to unpack today. Our mission for this deep dive is to really explore this pivotal 12th week. We've gone through extensive medically reviewed sources, mainly from BabyCenter, to really break down the crucial developments for the baby and for you.
And we'll look at the common experiences people have around this time.
Right, and critically highlight those practical steps, the things you can actually do that can make a difference, help pave the way for, a smoother journey ahead.
Yeah, this deep dive is really designed to give you clear, evidence-based insights. We want you to feel informed, prepared, but hopefully not overwhelmed.
Because there's so much information out there.
Exactly. So we distill the core facts, look at what they really mean, connect the dots, give you that comprehensive picture of this important week, like an informed shortcut.
And honestly, get ready for some genuinely surprising facts about the baby's body at this stage. It's tiny, but wow.
It's intricate, a biological marvel, truly.
And we'll also cover that piece of news that brings so much comfort to people, the big drop in miscarriage risk around this time.
Which is huge. For so many expecting parents, that's a major emotional turning point.
Yeah.
Lets them breathe a bit easier, right?
Absolutely. Allows them to embrace the journey with maybe a bit more peace of mind, more anticipation.
Wow, less worry.
And of course, we've gathered some really practical advice, strategies for managing symptoms that might still be hanging around.
The lingering ones.
And those essential checklist items that help you get ready for a healthier, more organized pregnancy as you step into that second trimester. So where should we start?
Well, let's start with the baby.
Okay, let's jump right into the heart of it. The incredible development happening with the baby at 12 weeks. Our sources describe this as a pivotal milestone. They talk about a fully formed foundation. Now, fully formed, that sounds really definitive. But what does it actually mean at this stage? Because obviously the baby isn't ready for life outside the womb.
No, not at all. And that's a really vital distinction to make because it can be misinterpreted. When we say fully formed at 12 weeks, it means the baby's vital organs and body parts. The structural blueprint is complete.
A blueprint. Yeah.
Okay, all the foundational bits, major organs, limbs, the basic skeleton, they're all in place. This marks that crucial transition point. The embryonic period, which is all about that rapid organ formation, that's ending.
And the fetal period begins.
Exactly. Up till now, the main job was organogenesis, creating and laying out all those major systems and structures. Now that they're all present, the focus shifts.
Shifts to what?
It shifts to continued development, maturation, and just exponential growth in size. It's less about base construction now and more about fine-tuning and scaling everything up.
That really helps clarify it.
Yeah.
Like building a house. The architectural phase is done.
Good analogy.
The foundation's poured, the framing's up. You can see where the rooms are, the basic plumbing, the wiring. It's all roughed in. But it's definitely still a construction site.
Precisely. You can see the shape of the home, but it's not livable yet.
Right. And just thinking about the sheer complexity.
Yeah.
All the process that led to every major system, every limb, every tiny finger being there in something so small. It's kind of mind-boggling.
It really is. And the biological significance is huge. That first trimester, that's generally the most critical period for organ formation. It's also the most vulnerable time.
Right.
So reaching 12 weeks with all those major structures in place, that signals a really robust, successful initial development. The body has built all the necessary components incredibly quickly.
It speaks to efficiency, doesn't it?
Incredible efficiency and precision. Just the speed, going from one single cell to this complex multi-system organism. It's one of the true wonders of biology.
And this completion of the blueprint, does it connect to how the expecting parent starts to feel?
Yeah.
Because sources often say the second trimester, which you're basically entering now, brings more comfort, more energy.
Yes, there's definitely a strong connection there.
Is it because that intense rapid-fire development phase for the baby is mostly done? Like the parent's body gets a bit of a break?
That's a big part of it. Think about the energy demands of early organogenesis, building the placenta, fueling all that cell division. It's immense.
Exhausting, I imagine.
Totally. So as that intense phase winds down, the energy demands on the parent's body decrease somewhat. Also, hormonal levels, while still high, might start to stabilize for some people.
Which could mean less nausea, less fatigue.
Exactly, less of that severe morning sickness maybe, and that profound bone-deep fatigue that's so calming early on. It's like the internal construction project moves from the really intense, groundbreaking phase.
To more steady growth.
Right, a more growth-oriented stage, and that often lets the parent's body redirect some energy. Leads to what many call the honeymoon phase of pregnancy.
Yes, a period of feeling a bit better, maybe enjoying it more.
A chance to feel renewed well-being, yeah.
It's just fascinating, these tiny details, these big steps happening inside such a small being. So at 12 weeks, the sources say the baby can actually open and close their hands, make a fist.
Yep, and curl their toes.
Wow.
Yep.
And they have tiny fingernails already on fingers and toes.
Developing fingernails. And reflexes are working too. Facial features are becoming more recognizably human.
And this one I found really interesting. Touchpads are developing on the baby's fingers.
Yeah, isn't that something?
What are these little movements, like opening hands, curling toes? What do they tell us about the nervous system, the muscle coordination? Are they literally practicing?
They absolutely are. Think of it as a constant practice loop, refining those connections between the brain and the muscles.
Also, the brain sends a signal.
The brain sends signals, the nerves transmit them better and better, and the muscles respond with more coordinated actions. It shows the nervous system and muscles are rapidly maturing, getting more complex.
And the fingernails, the touchpads.
They point to really intricate cellular processes happening and a readiness sort of for sensory exploration later on. These aren't just random twitches.
Oh, they're foundational.
Foundational for future motor skills like grasping and for sensory processing how the baby will interact with the world after birth. It's like the neural pathways are firing, getting stronger with every tiny movement.
Like a little dancer practicing their moves.
Exactly. Refining the routine before the big show.
Okay. And then there's this incredible journey of the baby's intestines. The source says they grew so fast, they actually protruded temporarily into the umbilical cord.
That's right.
But now, around 12 weeks, they're making their way back inside the abdomen as the abdominal wall closes. Why does that happen? It sounds slightly alarming if you don't know it's normal.
It does sound alarming, but it's actually one of nature's really clever solutions. It's quite surprising when you first hear about it.
A design hack, you called it.
Totally. Imagine a factory building itself incredibly fast, but the assembly line temporarily gets bigger than the building itself.
Yeah.
Early on, the intestines grow explosively fast, much faster than the baby's tiny abdominal cavity can expand to hold them.
There just isn't enough room.
Not enough room for the rapidly expanding intestines and for other vital organs like the liver and kidneys to have the space they need to develop properly.
So the umbilical cord becomes like extra storage space.
Exactly. A temporary external growth chamber. It's a perfectly normal evolutionary workaround. It gives the intestines the space they need without crowding everything else out.
And then they just move back in.
As the baby grows and the abdominal cavity gets bigger, the intestines naturally migrate back inside. It's a complex but crucial part of digestive system development, making sure everything ends up in the right place.
Nature's logistics. Incredible.
Shows the amazing efficiency and adaptability of early development.
So, to put all this amazing growth into perspective for our listener, at 12 weeks, the baby's about the size of a lime.
Roughly, yeah.
The source says about 2.13 inches head to bottom. That's crown to rump length, right?
Crown room.
And weighs just about 2.05 ounces. How does that compare to, say, a few weeks earlier? What does it tell us about the rate of growth?
Oh, the comparison is just astonishing. It really highlights the explosive exponential growth of the first trimester.
Because just weeks before.
Weeks before, the baby was a tiny cluster of cells, then maybe the size of a grain of rice, then a raspberry, to
Yeah.
go from microscopic, basically invisible, to a recognizable human form the size of a lime over 2 inches long, over 2 ounces.
That pace is incredible.
It really underscores the astonishing rate of growth. And it's not just size. It's the complexity, the cell division, differentiation into tissues, intricate organization happening unbelievably fast.
And that also means the expecting parent's body is working incredibly hard to support all that.
Immensely hard, providing all the energy, all the resources, all the building blocks for that rapid development.
It's profound, really. So much foundational work packed into this tiny lime-sized being. And thinking about the implications, those early reflexes, the touch pads, they're hinting at the very first forms of interaction, sensory experience.
Laying the groundwork.
Yeah, for the first grasps, exploring textures, how they'll physically connect with the world.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much of what we see as baby behavior after birth is actually just a refined version of these unseen practice sessions in the womb?
It suggests this beautiful continuum of learning and development starting long before we ever meet them face to face.
Okay, so as we shift focus from the baby's amazing development, this tiny architect completing the blueprint and settling into growth, what does this mean for you, the expecting parent? Because around 12 weeks, the physical and emotional landscape often starts to change, often for the better.
That's right. It's a time of noticeable shifts.
Yeah, changes in your body. And some really significant news about risk reduction. Our sources say the uterus is now about the size of grapefruit.
A grapefruit.
And a healthcare provider can actually feel the top of it, the fundus. Is that right? Low in the abdomen, just above the pubic bone.
That's the fundus, yes.
A grapefruit-sized uterus. That feels like a pretty tangible change. How does that impact your comfort, your sensations? It's a real sign the baby's growing.
It is a fascinating anatomical shift. It signaled a new phase of physical growth for the parent. You see, in the very early weeks, the uterus is hidden down in the pelvic cavity.
Right, you can't really feel it.
But by 12 weeks, growing to grapefruit size means it starts rising up out of the pelvis, becoming more of an abdominal organ.
Which makes it easier for a doctor or midwife to feel during an exam.
Exactly. And for you, the expecting parent, it might translate into a new feeling of fullness, maybe some slight pressure low down, or even a subtle stretching sensation as ligaments adjust.
Could this be when some people start to see a little bump?
It could be yes. For some, this is when the earliest, maybe barely perceptible signs of a baby bump start to appear. But that varies hugely. Body type, first pregnancy, or not. Lots of factors.
Sure. But it's definitely becoming more of a concrete physical presence inside you.
Moving from an abstract
But,
idea to
like-
something tangible, yeah.
Now, let's talk about what many consider the biggest piece of, well, reassuring news at this stage. Our sources clearly state the risk of miscarriage drops significantly once you've had that first prenatal visit and the baby's heartbeat has been seen or heard.
That's a big one.
This is just immense relief, isn't it? Because those early weeks can be so overshadowed by worry about miscarriage for so many people.
It truly is a moment of immense emotional relief, and it marks a crucial psychological turning point for many, many expecting parents.
Why does the risk drop so much around now?
Well, the vast majority of first trimester miscarriages happen because of things like chromosomal abnormalities or other severe developmental issues that just make the pregnancy non-viable, unfortunately.
Right.
So by 12 weeks, especially once you've confirmed a heartbeat and know that structural blueprint is complete, it means the pregnancy has effectively established viability. That most critical, vulnerable period of organ formation is done successfully.
So the chances just go down
Significantly. Some studies suggest the risk can drop by 50% or even more after confirming a heartbeat in a healthy pregnancy. Now, no pregnancy is completely risk-free, of course.
Sure.
But this major reduction allows parents to start shifting their focus, moving from that quiet, constant worry towards more anticipation, planning, a greater sense of security.
It's often when people feel ready to share the news more widely, isn't it?
Very often, yes. It feels safer.
So it really is that collective deep breath moment. That big worry starts to lift, allowing for more joyful anticipation. a chance to embrace the reality of it all with less anxiety.
Exactly.
And like you said, that internal growth of the uterus connects to the gradual appearance of a bump for some, marking that visible transition.
Yeah.
No longer just a secret.
Becomes an undeniable reality.
Okay, speaking of realities, let's get practical. Let's talk about managing common pregnancy symptoms. Our sources list quite a few, and it's so important to remember these are normal experiences for many people.
Very common.
Knowing what to expect and how to handle it can make a huge difference. So first up, pregnancy stress.
Yes. Stress.
The source says it's normal to worry baby's health, money, life changes. But it also warns that chronic, overwhelming stress isn't good. It could lead to pregnancy, depression, or anxiety, and you should see a doctor. What's the deeper issue here beyond just feeling stressed out?
It really highlights that strong connection between mental and physical health during pregnancy. Sometimes that gets underestimated.
Yeah.
And while some worry is definitely normal, chronic or really high stress can have actual physiological effects. Well-being for both the parent and the baby.
So managing stress isn't just about feeling better mentally.
No, it's a key part of prenatal care. It supports a healthier environment overall. Things like relaxation exercises, mindfulness, deep breathing, just talking things through with someone you trust.
Yeah.
That can all help hugely.
And knowing when to get professional help.
Absolutely crucial. If stress, anxiety, or low mood feels persistent or overwhelming, talk to your provider. Early help can prevent bigger problems later. It's about prioritizing both mental and physical health.
Okay, next. Headaches. Super common, apparently. The advice is prevention. Frequent small meals, lots of water, good sleep, moderate exercise, relaxation like meditation or yoga, even prenatal massage. For relief, heat or cold packs, warm showers, maybe acupuncture. And for meds, acetaminophen Tylenol is usually considered safest, but always check with your doctor first.
Always check first.
Why do those prevention things work so well? And why the constant caution with any medication during pregnancy?
Well, pregnancy headaches often come from a mix of things. Hormones shifting, changes in blood volume, maybe dehydration or blood sugar swings. So the prevention tips directly tackle those causes. Small meals stabilize blood sugar. Good hydration prevents dehydration headaches, surprisingly common. Sleep and gentle exercise reduce stress, improve circulation. Relaxation helps with tension headaches.
Makes sense. And the heat cold or shower for relief.
That helps relax tense muscles in the neck and head, improves blood flow, eases the pain symptomatically.
And the medication caution.
The general rule in pregnancy is extreme caution, even with over-the-counter stuff. Anything you ingest could potentially cross the placenta. While acetaminophen has a good safety record, you need professional advice to make sure it's right for your specific situation, doesn't interact with anything else. Your provider gives personalized guidance.
Got it. Then food aversions. About 60% of pregnant women get these.
Roughly, yeah. A lot of people experience them.
Often due to hormones and a stronger sense of smell. Common culprits.
Right.
Meat, eggs, dairy, spicy stuff, strong smells, coffee.
The usual suspects.
Good news is they often fade in the second trimester. Any tips for dealing with these? Especially if just the smell of cooking is a trigger. That sounds really tough.
It can be really tough. Food aversions are a classic example of hormones just changing everything. Increased estrogen and progesterone can ramp up your sense of smell and alter taste, making things you used to love suddenly seem awful.
So what can you do?
Flexibility is key. Find what works for you day to day. Bland foods, cold foods, they often have less odor, so they're easier to tolerate. Think crackers, fruit, toast, maybe a cold sandwich.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. And for those strong cooking smells, if possible, have a partner or someone else do the cooking, especially for things like frying meat or using strong spices. Minimizing exposure to triggers is really the main thing.
Adapting your diet temporarily.
Exactly. Making sure you still get nutrition without feeling sick, even if meals are a bit unconventional for a while.
Okay, fatigue. The absolute classic first trimester symptom. 95% of women experience it. Wow.
It's incredibly common and often profound.
The good news. Energy often picks up in the second trimester, though it might dip again later. And counterintuitively, gentle exercise can actually help.
It can, yes.
But, and this is crucial, persistent, overwhelming fatigue could signal something else, like iron deficiency, anemia, or depression, and needs a doctor check.
That's a very important point.
So how can exercise help when you feel totally drained? And how do you know if it's normal pregnancy fatigue versus something needing medical attention?
Well, that fatigue is so intense because your body is doing an immense amount of work building the placenta, boosting blood volume, driving all that cell development. It's a massive physiological effort.
Right.
Gentle exercise, like just a brisk walk, works by improving circulation, releasing mood-boosting endorphins, and it can even improve sleep quality.
Yeah.
All those things boost energy levels over time. It's not about intense workouts, just consistent, moderate activity.
And telling the difference between normal and concerning fatigue.
Look at persistence and other symptoms. Normal pregnancy fatigue is draining, yes, makes you want to nap all the time, but it usually responds a bit to rest. If the fatigue is truly overwhelming, doesn't get better with rest at all, or comes with other things like extreme paleness, getting breathless easily, dizziness, or really strong feelings of sadness or hopelessness.
Then definitely talk to your provider.
Absolutely. Could be anemia, which is common and treatable, or pregnancy-related depression. Both need medical diagnosis and help.
Okay, dizziness, another common one, caused by big cardiovascular changes. Faster heart rate, more blood pumped, that 30–50% increase in blood volume.
Dramatic changes, yeah.
The fix, lie down on your side or sit with your head between your knees. Why do those changes cause dizziness, and why do those positions help so much?
So the cardiovascular system really ramps up. That huge increase in blood volume is vital for the uterus and baby, but the heart has to work harder. Plus, hormones can make your blood vessels relax and widen. That combination can lead to a slight drop in blood pressure, especially if you change positions fast, like standing up quickly. That temporary dip in blood flow to the brain causes the dizziness or lightheadedness.
And lying on your side.
That optimizes blood flow back to your heart and then to your brain. It stops the uterus pressing on major blood vessels, especially the big one called the inferior vena cava. If that gets compressed, blood flow drops, causing dizziness.
And head between the knees.
Similar idea, lowers your head below your heart, so gravity helps blood flow to the brain faster. Both are quick, effective ways to handle those dizzy spells.
Good to know. And finally, shortness of breath. Also not uncommon. Reasons include eating more oxygen and the hormone progesterone expanding lung capacity. But big warning, call your provider immediately if you have chest pain, rapid or irregular heartbeat, or severe, sudden shortness of breath.
Crucial distinction there.
How can a hormone actually expand lung capacity? And what's the key difference between normal pregnancy, breathlessness, and a medical emergency?
It's a fascinating adaptation. Progesterone actually affects the breathing centers in your brain, making you breathe a bit deeper and maybe slightly faster.
Right.
Yeah, and it relaxes smooth muscles, including in your airways, which can subtly increase lung capacity for better gas exchange. Helps get that extra oxygen needed for you and the baby.
Okay. And the red flags.
The line between normal and serious is vital. Normal pregnancy shortness of breath is usually mild, kind of chronic, maybe feels like you can't get a full breath, especially after doing something, but no real pain or distress.
But if it's sudden?
If it's sudden, severe, comes with chest pain, heart palpitations, a racing or irregular heartbeat, or just a profound feeling of breathlessness that hits fast, those are red flags. Could be serious things like blood clots, heart issues, bad infections. Always get checked immediately if you're worried.
Definitely err on the side of caution. So with all these internal changes, managing symptoms, what does this mean day to day as you head into the second trimester? We've covered the inside story, the physical feelings. Now let's talk proactive steps. Practical prep and self-care that can really make a difference.
Good plan. Moving into action.
Sources highlight several things, starting with financial planning, making a baby budget,
Important.
thinking about costs, clothes, diapers, feeding, gear, and especially childcare, brainstorming ways to save, emphasizing the peace of mind it brings. Why focus on finances now when the baby's still so tiny?
Because financial preparedness is really a form of self-care. It's about reducing future stress, creating stability. It might feel early, but the financial side starts now and only grows.
Childcare is a big one, right?
Huge, often one of the biggest single expenses. And it needs early planning, research, budgeting, doing it now, before the baby arrives, and life gets even busier and more demanding.
Makes sense. You can approach it more calmly.
Exactly, more rationally, proactively. The peace of mind from knowing you've planned for these costs is incredibly valuable. Frees up mental energy you'd otherwise spend worrying later. It's building a practical foundation alongside the biological one.
Okay, next. Starting a pregnancy workout. Sources say it builds strength, endurance for carrying the extra weight, prepares for labor, prevents aches, reduces stress, boosts mood.
Lots of benefits.
ACOG, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, recommends 20-30 minutes of moderate exercise most days, aiming for about 2.5 hours a week.
That's the guideline.
But crucially, consult your provider before starting anything new and take it easy. What are the benefits beyond just prepping for childbirth, and why is that doctor check so important?
The benefits are definitely holistic. Regular moderate exercise releases endorphins, natural mood boosters, helps fight stress or mood swings, improves sleep quality, vital when you're fatigued, helps manage healthy weight gain, can lower the risk of gestational diabetes, eases things like back pain and constipation by improving circulation and muscle tone. It's like investing in your overall resilience.
And the provider consultation.
Essential because every pregnancy is unique. You might have underlying health issues or specific pregnancy complications like placenta previa that make certain exercises unsafe.
Right.
A provider gives personalized advice, ensures it's safe for you and baby, advises on modifications like maybe avoiding lying flat on your back after the first trimester.
Gotcha. And then, super simple but fundamental, stay hydrated. Helps prevent constipation, hemorrhoids, UTIs, bladder infections.
Crucial.
Recommendation is around 10 8-ounce cups of water or healthy drinks daily. Flexible based on activity, weather. Best check. Pale yellow or colorless urine, only feeling thirsty occasionally. Why is hydration so critical physiologically? How does it prevent those common issues?
Hydration is key because fluid supports that massive increase in blood volume we talked about, 30–50% more. Being well hydrated keeps that volume up, helps your kidneys filter waste from you and the baby efficiently. That constant flushing reduces UTI risk. Bacteria don't get a chance to settle.
And for constipation, hemorrhoids.
Water adds bulk and softness to stool, makes it easier to pass, prevents straining, which reduces hemorrhoid risk. Plus, your body needs more water for increased metabolism, amniotic fluid, good circulation. The self-monitoring tips, urine color, thirst, are great. Practical ways to stay on top of it.
Easy but high impact.
Definitely. Supports overall health profoundly during this intense period.
Okay, moving beyond the physical now. Let's touch on mental health, pelvic health, and immunizations. Sources suggest keeping a journal.
Journaling.
Calling it a powerful way to record, reflect, improve emotional well-being, mental clarity, even physical health. Plus, you get a keepsake. It seems amazing that just writing stuff down can do all that.
It really is remarkable, the power of expressive writing. Journaling gives you that safe, private space to process everything, the excitement, the anxiety, the physical changes, the identity shifts. All of it.
Just getting it out.
Exactly. Research shows putting thoughts and feelings on paper can reduce rumination, help organize scattered thoughts, even lower stress markers like blood pressure. You gain perspective.
And maybe even boosts immune function.
Some studies suggest that link, yeah. A connection between emotional processing and physical health. And of course, the keepsake value is huge, a tangible record of this incredible time.
Something to look back on. Okay, next. Kegels. Often talked about, maybe not always fully understood.
Very important.
Sources say they strengthen pelvic floor muscles, leading to easier healing after birth, preventing urinary incontinence, maybe enhancing sex later. You can do them anytime. Brushing teeth, red light, 10-20 quick squeezes. Why is the pelvic floor so vital, and how do Kegels help so much?
The pelvic floor is this crucial group of muscles, like a sling at the base of your pelvis. Supports the bladder, uterus, bowels, essential for continence, sexual function, and crucially, supporting the growing weight of the uterus and baby. During vaginal birth, these muscles stretch massively, like a huge workout. Strengthening them beforehand with Kegels prepares them, makes them more resilient, often helps with healing afterwards.
And preventing leaks.
Yes. Strong pelvic floor muscles are key for preventing or easing urinary incontinence, which is common during and after pregnancy due to bladder pressure and muscle weakening. Plus, better muscle tone and blood flow from Kegels can improve sensation during sex post-birth.
Simple, discreet, big long-term benefits.
Absolutely. For core health and quality of life.
Finally, immunizations. The flu shot and COVID-19 vaccine are listed as safe and strongly recommended for pregnant women.
Yes, very safe and highly recommended.
They lower your chances of getting really sick or hospitalized, and crucially, give antibodies to protect the baby after birth. A true double benefit. How does that work? Protecting both parent and baby via passive immunity.
It's a fantastic example of preventive medicine protecting two lives at once. When you get a vaccine like the flu or COVID shot during pregnancy, your immune system makes antibodies to fight those viruses. What's key is these antibodies are small enough to cross the placenta, so the baby gets some protection before birth. It's like a borrowed immunity from the parent.
Passive immunity.
Exactly. And after birth, that protection continues for a while, giving the newborn a vital defense layer when they're too young for many vaccines themselves. This is critical because newborns are so vulnerable to severe illness from flu or COVID.
So it protects the parent during pregnancy and gives the baby a head start.
A crucial head start during their most vulnerable months. That's why health organizations worldwide strongly recommend them.
Okay, as pregnancy moves along, the body changes more visibly, which brings us to maternity wear.
The wardrobe transition.
Sources say when to start shopping really depends on when you start showing. Roomier clothes, you already have leggings, maxi dresses, big sweaters can work initially.
Comfort is key.
They also mention those tried and true hacks. Looping a hair tie around your pants button for extra room, or making a DIY belly band. It's important to stress that showing is individual, right? It's not a race.
Absolutely not a race. Timing varies hugely. Some show early, maybe 10, 12 weeks, especially if it's not their first baby or they have multiples. Others might not have a noticeable bump till well into the second trimester, sometimes even later. Totally normal either way.
Right.
What's interesting is how the body adapts subtly even before there's an obvious bump. The hacks are great, clever, cheap ways to extend your current wardrobe during that in-between phase. Gradual, comfortable adjustment.
And when it's time to shop, the sources simplify maternity sizing. Sizes work the same as your regular clothes. Stick with your pre-pregnancy size. Same for plus-size maternity, too.
Which is helpful, removes confusion.
What's the logic? How does that help?
The logic is smart, consumer-friendly design. Maternity clothes are cut specifically with extra room and strategic features, belly panels, more bust room, maybe hip room, to accommodate pregnancy growth while keeping proportions right elsewhere.
So a pre-pregnancy size 8 buys a maternity size 8.
Generally, yes. The clothes are engineered to expand with you. It simplifies shopping massively, removes the guesswork as your body changes. You have a consistent baseline, great for shopping online, too.
Thoughtful design. So that hair tie trick, literally just loop it through the buttonhole and hook it onto the button.
That's the one. Classic for a reason. Gives you those crucial extra inches.
I bet lots of listeners are nodding right now, remembering that.
Probably. And psychologically, when your body changes visibly when you start moving into maternity clothes, it often makes the pregnancy feel even more real, more exciting.
A public acknowledgement.
Yeah, embracing the changes, often with pride and anticipation.
Well, we have covered an incredible amount today in this deep dive on the 12th week of pregnancy. We went from those intricate, unseen developments in the tiny lime-sized baby
Marveling at the formed organs, the reflexes.
to the vital physical and emotional shifts for you, the expecting parent. We explored that reassuring drop in miscarriage risk,
Huge relief.
dived into practical ways to manage common symptoms, and highlighted those proactive self-care and planning steps that really empower the journey.
We really did. And the key takeaways are clear, I think. The baby's structural completion at 12 weeks is pivotal. The shift from embryo to fetus, signaling a successful foundation.
Right.
That drop in miscarriage risk brings relief, allows more joy. Common symptoms, while tough, are manageable with simple strategies.
Empowering people to handle them.
And that proactive self-care and planning, budgeting, exercise, journaling, Kegels, vaccinations, all contribute hugely to a healthier, more comfortable, informed pregnancy. It's a week where unseen transformation really comes into its own.
And our goal here at the Deep Dive is always that. A shortcut to being well-informed, surprising facts, clear guidance from trusted sources, without the overwhelm.
Definitely. And, stepping back,
Right.
This look at just 12 weeks shows how much complex, vital stuff is constantly happening, often totally beneath the surface.
Unseen by most.
Yeah. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other hidden transformations might be quietly unfolding in our own lives? Things demanding our attention, our preparation, even if we can't fully see them yet.
Like foundational shifts in career, relationships, personal growth.
Exactly. Often without obvious signs until much later.
That's a really powerful thought. Okay, maybe let's unpack that idea in your own life.
Mm-hmm.
We encourage you, our listener, to reflect on your own journey, whatever stage you're at. Maybe apply this kind of detailed, informed approach to other areas where unseen growth or pivotal shifts might be happening.
Food for thought.
Definitely. Thanks for diving deep with us today.